Today we are speaking with Russell Area Technology Center Principal, Mr. Trimble. Mr. Trimble, tell us about yourself.
Okay, I've been here for about a year and a half now, and love it here. It's been a great opportunity for me, and love working with this district, and love our staff. We have a great staff, and students are wonderful, and it's been a really good experience and a really good opportunity to be here. And I spent 10 years before that in Boyd County Public Schools as a social studies teacher, assistant principal at the middle school, director of student services, athletic director. Couple different roles there, and so I've had a nice variety. I actually grew up in Johnson County and graduated from Johnson Central High School in 2000, and then graduated from University of Kentucky in 2004 with a degree in secondary social studies education. And I also had the opportunity to work with the University of Kentucky as a student athletic trainer, and to travel with them and to work with their athletic department. So it was a lot of fun, and I've been pretty blessed in my life to have to work in some good opportunities, and none better than the one I'm in now.
What made you want to be a principal?
I grew up in education, around education, and I think it's two things. The thing that made me want to be an educator is the opportunity to make a difference and to have an effect in the lives of students. And I grew up, my dad is a retired educator, and I grew up with him and spending a lot of time in the schools and watching him make a difference in people's lives, and then obviously seeing great teachers that I had and teachers that I've worked with since I left college, that you really see the opportunity to make a difference and to just to show students that people care about them, and whether it be someone who's been blessed to have all their family, or whether there's someone that has a tough time that just needs someone to show them that they care about them and they love them. And I think that's a great part of what we do as educators, and always the thing that made me very passionate about this job, and hopefully throughout my career I've been able to do that, because I think that's how we help kids to learn, that it's about building relationships and showing our students that we truly do care about them, because that's what this profession is our students. And so I've always been very passionate about that, and I've moved from teaching to working in administration as just an opportunity. And like I say, that was really growing up from the time I was 6 years old on. I was in a school all summer with my dad, and that was what he was always doing. And so I've been around that profession a lot, and I've seen what it takes in this job, and to kind of lead a school and to work with our staff, and I'm very blessed to have a great staff working with us. And I think it was a great opportunity in this position. Like I say, I came here a year and a half ago, and it's been a good transition for me. Having a social studies background it was a change to come into technical education, but man, I've learned a lot about it, and really have enjoyed the opportunity to see our students be in the shops and be in the health science classrooms, and a lot of hands-on education, and I think that's been really good for us.
Awesome. When you started this school year, what were your top 5 priorities for the new year?
We had a bunch of them, a bunch of goals that we set. I think number one was to always, and it's always a priority, to always strive to help our students grow, however that may be. And I think that's through the way we teach, the way we interact with our students, and obviously opportunities. We're completing a $1.2 million construction project here. Actually just met with the head of construction company just a few minutes ago, and we're really close to having that complete. And our Board of Education, and Mr. Horn and Mr. Chambers and Mr. Kraft and all those who spent so much time on that building, they've given us really good resources. And I think that for us as a staff, our goal now is use those for the best of our students. And so I think we're doing that. We've really, our teachers are working hard. Again, I mentioned hands-on education, and that's what's happening. If you go in our classrooms, you see our students up moving around. They're working. If it be in the welding shop, they're welding and doing some real-world work there. The business classrooms, they're out working on their computers and such. And I think for us, number one priority, and I've got 4 more, but the number one priority was, let's make this the best place it can be for our students to succeed in the future. And so we've tried to bring in one of our other priorities to really work with our community and I feel very strong about that. Every classroom in our building has had someone from the community in working with our students. Yesterday we had some of our marketing students at area advertising, and they were showing them there how they design their signs, and actually we have one we'll be hanging up that our students were able to make. And so to try to take what we're doing in our classroom to put it to real life has been big for us, and our staff has done a great job of that, of just getting people here and then getting our students out. And again, that goes with support of the district to transport us there and allow us that opportunity to be gone. But I really think it's been beneficial for our kids. And so that was one of our other priorities, to work with our community. And then for us to grow as a team of educators. And we're blessed. We got great teachers. And this was a really good summer for us to grow together. We have 2 brand new teachers, and they have been rock stars in the classroom. Missy Wilburn is wonderful in business, and she's really been excited in teaching. She's coming out of the accounting and business field, 21 years. And so I don't think she'll mind me saying that. And so she's really transitioned in well and brought the real world to our students, and is doing a great job and always teaching but making it fun. And Sherry Lane has more than 21 years in the nursing field, and she's teaching our health science classes and doing great there. And we have our staff that's been with us. Mr. Runyon is our most tenured teacher, as he will point out to you, in welding, and he does a great job with our students. Mr. Williams is working with Microsoft IT and bringing in actually some programming. We've had a lot of interest in programming, never been able to do anything with that. And Microsoft IT's allowed us that opportunity, so we have some students who are having some great success with that. And actually we were able to take them to Shawnee State and let them look around there and go to a convention that they had there on gaming and programming, and that was a good opportunity for us. And Ms. Phipps is actually leading that and using Microsoft IT in her classrooms, and we've already certified students in MOS for Microsoft Word, which is the first time we've ever done that, and so that's pretty awesome, and we're pretty excited about that. And then Mr. Parsons is working in our drafting, and he's always got hands-on projects going on, and robotics and building models and all that. And so I think, and we're in the process of hiring an electricity teacher. We've got some interested applicants that we had the opportunity to meet with that are awesome. And so we're rolling. And I think one of our big priorities was, as a staff, to always work together well. Roy, who came in the office just now when we started our interview, has really worked hard on the hallways and the painting doors and making the building look great. And then Tammy's the first face you see when you come in. And Tammy handles more than anybody ever realizes, from finances to data to all that. It's not a big building, but it's a great team. And we're blessed to really have a good group of people to work together with. And I think one of our priorities was, let's make sure that we continue to grow together. And we've done that. And I'm really proud of how our staff works together and always focuses on what can we do, the next step, to make things better for kids. And then, we've some real world experience. We've gotten kids out to co-op, which is new for us. Hasn't been an opportunity in the past. And that was a go for us this year. So we've gotten more out than we've had before, and seem to be doing really well. And so I ran into one of them at the drive-thru the other day, and she was excited and working hard. It was in the evening, and she'd been working all day and her all afternoon, and that's really good. So.
Awesome. When you were a student, since you deal mainly with high school students, so let's think about you as a high school student. What was your favorite subject in school?
It's kind of a mixture. I like to write, and so I would say English, but I wasn't a big reader. so probably not complete English, just when I was getting to write. I really enjoy writing and presenting, and obviously I talk too much, so I didn't care to talk a little bit. And then social studies. I through history, and really I had the opportunity, and I wish I would have taken some business classes, because I had the opportunity to teach economics when I first started teaching. And it's a really close tie to what we do in our business classes, and I really think I would have enjoyed that. But probably English and social studies. We had a leadership program through our physical education department. I was a huge fan of those classes as well, and the teacher was awesome. She was really good, and we had, between being in the gym and in the pool, actually, we had some good opportunities there. So I have to say I did like physical education a little bit too.
What would you say is your very best characteristic or feature?
I don't know. Those are hard questions. I hope I hope that people would say that it's that I care about people, because that's big for me, and I want what's best for everybody who comes in these doors, and not just that, but everybody around me. And you know, I don't know. I would take what other people would say over what I say, but hopefully people understand that you know, more than anything else, I care about every kid that walks in this building. I care about every teacher that walks in this building, every staff member that walks in this building. That you know, I want them to love to come to work. I want our kids to love to come to school, and I want to make sure that we're doing what's always right for our kids. And so I hope, you know, I don't know what people would say, but hopefully people would say, man, I really do believe he cares about me, because that to me is the most important thing. And we can do everything else, but you know, I really care about our people, and they're really special to me, and I'm really blessed to have the opportunity to work with them, and I hope they always know that.
What do you think has been your most outstanding contribution to your building so far?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't really look at anything that we've done here to be about me, because I can't do any of it without them. And so I think we've done some great things, and I think we have really made a hard push in our education of our students, in our focus of our students, and how we educate them. And I think our guys have done a great job with that, whether it be with project-based learning, whether it be with bringing in community members, whether it be with work-based learning. We have some new standards that have come down, and really focusing on that track of, you know, college or career, or whatever the track may be. A lot of the confusion has been that this is a one-track program, that it's a vocational school. Well, it's a career and technical center that's designed for really three phases. You know, it's the college student who's heading to college through our business programs, through our health science programs, through our drafting programs, whatever. The student who's heading to the vocational and technical side of education, through our welding, through our electricity or HVAC, whatever that may be. And then to our students that are going out into career. I was really proud, Mr. Martin, who isn't with us now because of some family things and some other things. I was really proud of what we were doing in his program, and what we will continue to do with our new teacher, that we actually certified a student as a journeyman. That's high level stuff. That's 21, 22-year-old stuff that he was able to leave here and go into the field. And that's what he wanted to do. He wasn't a huge fan of school, but he worked really hard here to be able to get himself to that next level. And so I think for us, the success that we've had is because our people are passionate about what we're doing, and we're providing our kids an opportunity. But we're not limiting it to going straight to a career, or going straight to technical education, or going straight to college. But let's find out what's best for you. And you do that by being passionate about your kids. And so I think, for me, I don't give myself any credit for any contribution to the building. But I think as a collective staff, hopefully our contribution to our students has been, when you walk out these doors, you're ready for the next step, whatever it may be. And that we've made some form of a difference in your life to be able to prepare you for that. And you know, for me, that's big. And that doesn't have a, hopefully from this office, I'm doing my very best to support them. But, you know, I could take a lot of credit for a lot of great things, but it's happening out there. You know, that's what our guys are doing, and hopefully they feel supported. And maybe that's my outstanding contribution, is that I get to support them as they're doing great things, and I'm in the classrooms, and I want to be around our kids and strive to do that. But I'm not crazy enough to know that there's two things that make things really good here. It's our staff and our students. And you know, I could sit here all day by myself, and we couldn't accomplish anything without them. And so I'm very proud of them and proud of what they do. And that's really what it's about for me, is when our kids walk out the door, that they feel more educated, they feel cared about, and they know that the next level in their lives are prepared to go on. And that's what we've done.
So I guess you've already answered the next question. The programs and the projects that you're most proud of implementing in this building.
Yeah, you know, I'm proud of all of our programs, and you know, I mentioned the young man who left us with the journeyman journeyman's license, and we got some other guys who will have that opportunity hopefully this year. But we have our business students who are now getting certified in Word and Excel and Microsoft Office and PowerPoint, and they'll have those certifications that benefit them going into offices, going into whatever jobs they go into. To have that, I'm proud of that, and Ms. Phipps and Mrs. Wilburn they've worked really hard this summer to make sure that happens. And you know, we've it's new to us, so we run into a glitch or two, but we've really gotten that to work really well. You know, I mentioned Mr. Williams. We have kids in programming now. We have students who are going to get some certifications in networking and Adobe and you know, welding. Our students walk out with welding certifications, and next year we'll have our first class of students walk out with a nursing assistant license, which is awesome, because in order to be an RN in Kentucky now, that's what they have to have. And so they're a step ahead. And Mrs. Lane has done a great job with those students, and then Mr. Parsons is certifying students, and we're having great success with COSA and all that, and we're hopefully going to get some students some certifications out of there too, in his program. And so I think for us, I'm very proud of the fact that every room you go into in our building, when students enter and they take the coursework, the necessary coursework, they can walk out with some sort of certification that they can use later. And so I'm very proud of that, and our teachers are very passionate about those programs, and they don't, they teach our students what they need to know to be successful in the field. And what we're finding is, as we're doing that, if these assessments and if these certifications are aligned, our students are going to have great success, and I mean, we're rolling. Ms. Phipps is in my office every day saying, got another student who's certified in Word. And that's pretty cool, because that's never been an option here before. And it's through hard work of our staff and our students that's happening now. And so we have great programs, and we have opportunities in every program, and I'm very proud of that. And, you know, really for us, we've implemented as much real-world opportunity as we can. Taking students out, bringing people in. There was a period of time where Miss Lane had someone from the healthcare community in her room every week to just talk to kids, and we want our kids to understand what the opportunities are. In the spring, we're planning to have a big emergency management day, because she teaches some emergency procedures courses out here where we have all the emergency management folks together. We're going to partner with Mr. Moore on that a little bit, and you know, just educate our students on what's available for them. And I'm very proud that I think when we send our students out, they know the opportunities in front of them. And we have a lot of opportunities, whether it be, you know, in the hands-on career fields, welding and electrical and all that. You know, you're looking at millions of jobs that are available. We got to find them for our students, and we got to help our students do that. And so we do that by building relationships. And I'm very proud of what our guys have done in building those community relationships, where when our students go to apply for jobs, our community members recognize them, and they know where they came from. And they have faith in us. When we build those relationships, our community has faith in us as educators, and they want to hire the people that we've trained. And so I'm really proud of that relationship that we have, and I think that's only going to be good for our students.
Right. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
You know, that's a tough question. I got to tell you, I was in Italy in July. I was blessed to marry the most wonderful woman in the world this summer. She's awesome. She's an amazing educator and just an even better person. And so we were married in July, and we went to Italy for about 10 days. And that was really cool. I don't think I would have ever gone to Italy had I not married her, and that's where she wanted to go. But it was really cool. We had a nice chance to kind of travel down south and then come back up. We started in Milan, and then we went down to Florence, which was the coolest place ever. I loved Florence. And then we went to Rome, which had everybody in America, everybody in the world in there. It was hugely crowded and hot, but she liked it. And then we went to Venice, and then we came back up to Milan, and that was a really cool trip. You know, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. It's kind of where I've always wanted to go, but I didn't know that it's possible to beat the trip that we had, and we were very lucky to get to do that. And so I say that because I want to mention my wife because she's awesome, and she's really a huge support for me, and you know, she keeps me. She lectures me sometimes when I get in principal mode and out of teacher mode, puts me back in my place, and but she's really pretty cool, and I think maybe Italy was really cool because I got to go with my wife, and that was our first real good trip together, and we really enjoyed it.
Who do you look up to or model your behaviors after?
That's an easy. That may be the easiest question on here. My parents. Man, I'm blessed with great parents, and from a personal standpoint, both of them have really taught me what it means to be a good person, and I always strive to never let them down because they've always been so good to me, and they've always taught me how to be and how to treat people, and you know, that goes back to being an educator. Some of the people I watched, how they treated them, were students that didn't really have anybody else, and needed somebody, and then they were always so good to people, and so I think as a person, my parents, and really in my professional life, as in my actions and the way I treat people, is them as well, and modeled my career after, I think, specifically my dad. If you've ever had a conversation with me about education, you've gotten tired of hearing about my dad. 33 years. He was a 33-year educator. The majority of that as an administrator, and I just always thought he was good at what he did, and he was the superintendent in his last 8 years, and before that he was the first middle school principal, which was my 7th grade year. So he was my principal my 7th grade year, my 8th grade year. There was a year in the 9th grade he wasn't, and then 10, 11, 12. And so I grew up from 6 years old on in schools with him, and actually would answer phones for him, and whatever. And he really has taught me about education, and you know, he's a good man, and he really cared about the people that worked with him, and that was always important to me to see that, and to see how he did things, and was always passionate about his students and his schools and his staff, and so I think my parents in general, I consider myself the most blessed person alive, because I've got good people in my life that have always been around me, and then you know, I came here, I told you, a year and a half ago, and I got to be honest, to work in this district, and we sat in a meeting yesterday with all of our administrators in this district, and you know, I think every day you can watch what other people do and make yourself better, and I think the administrative team in this district, to watch them, and I love working with them, and I love to be in our schools and see what they do, because I can always help myself to grow by watching what other people do, and so you know, I model myself around these folks that are here too, and you know, my main goal is to always get better, because I know that I can, and man, there's some good people around us, and some great people right here in this district that that really care about each other, and I think that's one of the most awesome things about this school district that I've seen, is that everybody is moving in the same direction, trying to help each other grow, and you know, people that really care about each other, and so I've been blessed to have a lot of people to model myself after, and the problem now is being as good as all of them, and so my goal is to try to do that.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and we wish you the best success for the rest of the year.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you.